Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Kingdom Death Monster. Alright, one quick change. I originally had Lily White carrying the herb, but I actually need to have Letty carry it because binge eating requires her to have a consumable on her when she departs. Endless Babble is going to give +1 insanity to all departing survivors, so I went ahead and already increased that. Lily White is one of the characters I picked to have the +10 insanity for going Accept the Darkness, so that's why she has all that. Armor-wise, everyone's pretty much the same except for Kokuma, who has 2s and everything. I've already boosted everyone's survival based off of all that stuff except for Rumia, because Rumia can't gain survival anymore. Two, two of our characters can't encourage, but that doesn't really matter too much. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I can get weapon proficiency with Rumia. Doesn't really matter. I'll get club, I guess, just in case because she's just going to be doing support stuff anyway. Alright, so with all that said and done, I already distributed the Infectious Lunacy cards. Really all you need to do, it's just where I'm going to put these little blue tabs to represent the tokens. Every time we get 3 of them, it will trigger a frenzy. And let's go ahead and get some stuff situated. I've already set up the innovations, all that junk's been taken care of. So the only thing I need to do is do a 1d21, because we get 1 random terrain. 12, that is debris. It's set up adjacent to any board edge, and you can potentially get some fancy stuff from that, so I will definitely take advantage of that. Primary thing, of course, is I'll probably put it under. I'll just say it's under Lily White, and she will search it. Okay. Besides that, I think we're kind of good to go. For this battle, we actually go first, and the only thing we need to set up besides, there's debris under one of these characters. I'll probably put it under Lily White and then just immediately search it. Anyway, with that said and done, let's go ahead and take a look at the story event and pull up the Butcher. So we start on the bottom row, and we start with a few stone columns, and that's about it. It's nothing too special. So this is like right there. This is up here. And this is up here. Yeah, that's the setup. And he starts in the center. I have him facing away from us just because. And also the Butcher. We've already gone over his stats. Go ahead and show off his menace. If he doesn't have a target and triggers menace, he will point at he'll turn to face the closest survivor, no matter what. Doesn't matter about line of sight, and do 1 brain damage per monster level, just automatically. And then basic action is 2 attacks that do 1 damage and cause bleed, and it has accuracy 4. It's also closest survivor and field of view. Okay, so with that said and done, the monster has 12 AI cards in total, so we definitely have a lot of work cut out for us. So for this fight, it's going to be pretty nuts. Let's see what we can do right here, right now. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. We want Letty in position. What is your range? Yeah, it's just out of range, which is really annoying. What we'll probably end up doing is we're going to go ahead and probably end up surging with Letty and seeing if we can get a hit with that arrow. Actually, no, we don't have to. We can just move, because you can move and shoot an arrow. You just can't move and shoot the bow. Yeah, it sounds weird. Letty has armor on the head. I completely forgot. And so does Lily White. Lily White has 3 armor in the head. I don't think I even marked that the last fight, but I don't think it mattered. So, alright. With all that said and done, we do go first. So definitely want to take advantage of that. Rumia, you're going to go, hide. That's probably going to be your thing. You're going to just go hide out somewhere. Kokuma's going to be right there. And okay, we will go ahead and officially start the battle now. We go first. Also, I was showing my recording thing. Alright, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and search the debris with Lily White. 2, that's going to be a whole lot of nothing. You find nothing, but I can keep searching. So I'll go ahead and keep Lily White there. And, alright, next thing. I'm going to have Lily White, Letty move up 2 spaces. That should put her in range. It does. If you can get things like tall grass in this against the Butcher, that can give you a very significant advantage. Because the Butcher is not as accurate as the monsters we've been fighting, but he still hits like a truck. Alright, we're going to go ahead and do 1d10. We hit on 6s, I believe. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, 1d10, we hit on 6s. That is a hit. So we get to pull out some of the Butcher stuff. So hit locations. There are 15 cards. 8. Now at this point we do get he does get the -1 evasion, which means it's going to be a lot easier to hit him from now on. So yeah, -1 evasion token until end of Showdown. So there you go. And 8. 8 is the crown. The Butcher lashes out widely, clearing a path for itself. All survivors adjacent to the Butcher suffer bash, and then it full moves towards the furthest survivor. Okay, so this is going to trigger no matter what, because there's no crit for it. But we can go 1d10 plus 6, and that is a wound. We did our first wound to the Butcher. Let's go ahead and update all this nonsense. It gets reshuffled at the start of every turn, but we still need to keep track of it. Okay, I don't think Letty had anything special beyond that. No. Okay. But the Butcher does do a full move towards the furthest survivor, which is Rumia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be like that. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and have Rumia check what the top 3 cards are. So 3d15, 12, 13, and 2. 12 is a scrag. If you get the death blow with it, this is the only look. Originally, this card didn't have a critical hit on it, but it's been updated. But if you get the death blow on the scrag, it could do some awesome stuff. Let's go ahead and check everything else. So 12, 13. 13 is the shoulder, which he'll spin around viciously when he hits. Also, I didn't mean to expand this so big. My bad. Match the size here. There we go. Oh, it's because the card's a lot bigger for some reason. Okay. Not a big deal. And the last one was 2. And 2 is the Armored Pig Shoulder, which is super dense. So yeah. You can definitely risk breaking your weapons with this. Besides all that, I'm going to go ahead and move Rumia up 5 spaces. I went to the wrong thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. You can hide there. Okay. And that leaves Kokuma. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's all I have to do. Let's go 5, actually. This is going to cause her to get fall over, but that's okay. Now let's go ahead and make the scrap sword has 2 attacks. So there's that, I guess. So here we go, 2d10. We hit on 3s. It's 5 accuracy, plus 1 because we're attacking from the blind spot, and plus 1 because of the -1 evasion from the arrow. So we hit on 3s. Okay, 4 and 2, so only 1 hit. And it's going to be the Armored Pig Shoulder. Alright, we're going to go ahead and roll 1d10 plus 3 from the scrap sword and 2 from the monster necklace, so 5. And we just barely wounded it. This thing has a toughness of 9, so it's a little bit tougher than what we've been fighting. Okay, and with all that, the rest of this is not important. Because it's now the Butcher's turn. Kokuma does fall over. not a big deal, because she's just going to get back up. In fact, this prevents her from being knocked down during the monster's turn, so that's actually pretty helpful. Alright, so the good news is we did 2 wounds, so that's actually a pretty hefty start. There's a good chance that we've removed a few of the advanced cards, which is really important, because the advanced cards are pretty nasty. Alright, enough of that. So, the Butcher is a Berserker. So he draws 2 AI cards every turn. Also, fast target means all of the hit locations get shuffled every turn. So, all this information here gets deleted. Okay, so with that said and done, let's go ahead and draw. First card is Gaze of Truth. Closest threat facing. Closest threat. Alright, closest threat facing is actually Rumia. The Butcher looms over the target, mere inches from their face. Oh, he has to move first. If the Butcher is adjacent to the target, roll 1d10 on a 3+, they blah 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 blah. Okay, so we're not adjacent. It's just going to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh boy. Oh boy. That could have been worse. Alright, and then the next card. Lantern Hunger. Sorry. Great. Alright, Lantern Hunger. The Butcher disappears in a flash of light, reforming from the glow of a survivor's lantern. Target the furthest survivor. Target is doomed. Place the Butcher in an unoccupied space adjacent to the target. If this is impossible, discard this card. Alright, so this is going to teleport him to here, because that's the furthest survivor. And this is a speed 4, accuracy 4 attack, and it does 1 damage. And if this hits, it's going to cause a priority target token. So right off the bat, we've already gotten 2 advanced cards. Alright, 4d10. I'm pretty sure Lily White has no defenses against this. She is doomed, so she can't dodge. Yeah, she doesn't have anything that could save her. So 4d10 hits on 4s. 2 hits, that's not too bad. 2d6. That is 1 damage to the arms and 1 damage to the legs. So Lily White's going to get some fun from that. And she gets priority target. Like so. Okay. Of course, priority target's actually really hard to see on her, so let's make it purple. Okay. It is now our turns. Kokuma does get back up. And I'm going to go ahead and look at the top 3 cards immediately. Actually, I'm going to have Letty take 2 shots immediately. He hits. Letty has no accuracy. Correct. No accuracy. So he's just going to shoot 2 shots. He's already used the clawhead arrow. So hits on 6s because of the -1 evasion. So 2d10. No hits. And that's it for him. I'm going to go ahead and look at the top 3 cards now. So 3d20 or 3d15. 7, 11, and 8. So Furious Breastplate, it will has additional 2 toughness, so it has a toughness of 11. 8 is Crown, which we've seen before. And 11 is the Gut. If we wound the Gut, it will knock him down. That's actually pretty important. So we'll put Gut on top and go from there. Okay, so we'll have all these. I'm going to go ahead and have Kokuma Surge, or not Surge, but Dash. I'm going to go ahead and roll the 1d10 to see if I get the point back. I do not. Alright, make sure I'm still recording. I am. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 1, 2, 3. Alright, 2 attacks. I hit on 3s because I'm attacking from behind and it has -1 evasion. So roll 2d10. Both hit. So I get the Furious Gut and the Crown. I'm going to do Gut first. 1d10 plus 5. That is a wound. All survivors get +1 courage and he gets knocked down. So +1 courage, +1 courage, +1 courage, +1 courage. Okay, and that is a wound. So we're up to 3 wounds so far. And none of the reactions will now trigger. Let's go ahead and try to hit the other location while we're at it. That's another wound. Alright, good stuff. We're up to 4 wounds in total. So we'll take care of those. Not much Lily White can do. I'm going to go ahead and search the debris again. 4. Find some useful remains, get a random basic resource. Okay, and then archive it. So it's already archived, so don't worry about that. 1d21. We get a 7, that's a bone probably. It is a monster bone. There you go. Nothing too shabby. At this point, I can go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also, I didn't mean to remove that token. It should have stayed there. There we go. And at this point, he's just going to reshuffle. So no big deal there. All right. With that said and done, let's move on to the butcher. You did 4 wounds to him, so that's the start. But let's see what the next card has for us. Next card is Hugh. This is going to go after priority targets. Let me check one thing about priority target. I want to see when it exactly wears off, because I don't know how wrecked Lily White's about to be. The priority target is removed only when another survivor gains priority target, and effect causes priority target to remove, or the end of the next monster turn. Okay. So this at the end of his turn, it gets removed. So Hugh is going to be targeting her, no matter what. Hugh is 1 attack, 3 accuracy, 3 damage, causes bash and bleed 1. So I'll go ahead and turn, move up 2 spaces, and go ahead and make my attack. And it missed. Okay, that takes care of Hugh. Now the next AI card is Lantern Frenzy. Alright, this is going to be pretty interesting. So Lantern Frenzy. When Lantern Frenzy comes into play, a random survivor gains the priority target token. It cannot be removed for any reason. Draw an AI card. While Lantern Frenzy is in play, the Butcher gains +2 movement and +1 speed tokens. At any time, the survivor with the priority target token may sacrifice themselves and lead the Butcher away. Butcher far away. They perish and their gear is archived in the showdown. Immediately skip the aftermath. So essentially, and then you discard this mood once the priority target is killed. So this is kind of a way to actually get a sort of a stalemate victory type thing, where you can just sacrifice one of your survivors and just leave. Usually I do this, but since I kind of have my gear all spread out, I'm probably not going to. Also, these characters are kind of fodder anyway. While the Lantern Frenzy is in play, this will reduce him down by 1 wound, because that will be another mood that's active. So we'll go ahead and update that right now. So there you go. Let's go ahead and get it's called Lantern Frenzy. We'll add that to the list. Okay, so what this is going to do is going to give him +1 speed, which is going to be super annoying. And then +2 movement. So now he has 7 movement, so now he's much faster than us. And that +1 speed is, if anything, that +1 speed is going to be the thing that's going to really hurt us. So priority target is given to a random survivor. Yeah. So left to right, we'll roll 1d4 and see who gets it. 4. Lily White, unfortunately. So this is going to stay up until forever. Alright, and the additional effect of Lantern Frenzy is you draw another card. So next is Wild Carve. Wild Carve is going to target Lily White, because why not? Alright, closest threat. Alright, move and attack target. Okay, 2 attacks, 4+. And does 1 damage. It also does bleed. All survivors adjacent to the monster suffer 1 damage to a random hit location and gain 1 bleed token. I always assumed adjacent means exactly 1 space away. I usually don't count diagonals. So I'm assuming she is safe. Yeah, it says it in the glossary. It's adjacent only when you occupy 1 space in the cardinal direction, non-diagonal direction. So, no, everyone, all. So this is still going to do some pretty nasty stuff because it's also going to affect Lily White. Anyway, let's go ahead and roll 2d10. Both hits. 2d6. That is legs and waist. So Lily White's going to take a wound to the waist. And she's going to dodge the one in the legs. She will get a bleed token from that. And then all survivors adjacent to the monster suffer 1 damage to a random hit location. So here we go. Which is going to do 1 damage to the body for Lily White. And give her another bleed. It is a separate step, so it does count. And yeah, that is Wild Carve, and that is it. Oh wait, +1 speed. So we need to make 1 more attack roll. That hits, and it was going to hit the body again. So, in fact, with that knowledge, I'm actually going to go ahead and dodge the body. Can I do that? No, I can't because I didn't know about it. Okay. Because, yeah, I was going to get knocked down anyway. So, yeah. So, whoops. Alright, she is now knocked down. To be honest, there's not really any point in encouraging her, because she's just going to be stuck anyway. Alright, so it's now our turns. I'll have, I'm going to go ahead and have Rumia do her thing, so 3d15. Alright, 2, 7, and 8. 2 is the shoulder again. 7, wow, we keep getting the same ones over and over again. 7 and 8. Okay. So we'll go in this order. So crown last. Okay, and that takes care of all of that. And yeah, I'll go ahead and attack from behind. And here we go, 2d10. I hit on 3s. A perfect hit. So if you recall, perfect hits give +4 strength with a scrap sword. So gain +4 strength for the rest of the attack. So that means I now have +9 in total for hitting both the for wounding the shoulder and the plate. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't really need to add the +9 now, but I'll go ahead and do it. 1d10 +9. So we'll start with the armored pig shoulder first. That is definitely a wound. And then for the furious breastplate, that is a failure because 1, it's not enough because you need 11, and 2, it's because it's a freaking natural 1. But we did do 1 wound, so it's better than nothing. Okay. He is down to 6 cards. He's already freaking almost through the deck. Alright, so last is the Furious Crown. I'm going to go ahead and have Letty take 2 shots. He hits on 6s because of the evasion debuff. 1 hit, so this is going to do Furious Crown. So 1d10 +3. That is not a wound. You need a 9. This is going to cause everyone to get bashed and knocked down, but it doesn't matter because Kokuma is supposed to be knocked down anyway. So there you go. And now it's the Butcher's turn. So Butcher's going to go ahead and draw a hack. Closest threat. Well, it doesn't matter the threat. It's always going to go after priority target. So 2 attacks or 3 attacks because of the +1 speed, and it's going to hit on 4s. 2 hits. 2d6. That is body and body. Lily White's is just going to take the injury. There's not much you can do about it. And let's see what happens to her. This kills her. Instant death. The blow sends a bone fragment directly into your heart, killing you instantly. So that is the end of Lily White. This also ends Lantern Frenzy and removes these tokens for the time being. I'll put them to the side for now, because this card is definitely going to come up again. Okay, now that was the first AI card. Next is Kick. Oh god, I hate Kick. Alright, so this is Kick. Closest threat facing, closest threat, and then if no target, menace. So closest threat is actually going to be Kokuma. No, sorry, Kokuma is on the ground, so it's actually going to go after Letty. What I'm going to do for this is I'm going to have Letty dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. So the move and attack doesn't happen, otherwise it would have done knockback 5 and priority token and all that crazy nonsense. But the final effect of Kick is you draw another AI card. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the deck and see what we get. Hopefully it's nothing too horrible. Okay. Next card, Gaze of Truth. Butcher Loom's closest threat facing, which is going to be Letty. And, yep, so not much we can do about that. It's going to go ahead and move closer. This time he does get adjacent. And he's going to go ahead and roll a 1d10. And on a 3+, brain damage equal to the monster level. So Letty does take 1 brain damage, which is actually going to get him a token on his lunacy card. Don't really need that anymore. Okay, and we certainly don't need all those. Okay, target suffers brain damage, is knocked down, gets +2 understanding and a random disorder. So Letty's understanding just hit. It just triggered insight. And I'll go ahead and roll for the disorder first. So 1d23, 15. 15 is Prey. You may not spend survival unless you are insane. Okay, there's Prey. And we actually need to do the insight event for this. Because yes, you can get insight during battle. Showdown phase. Watching the chaotic movements of monsters, you perceive a pattern. Perhaps its motives are not so different from your own. You can imagine yourself in the monster's place. Gain the following ability and roll on the table below. Analyze. At the start of the survivor's turn, if you are adjacent to the monster, reveal the top AI card, then place it back on top of the deck. Okay, so you can see what's coming, I guess. And let's go ahead and roll a d10 and see what she gets as a result. 6. Gain 3 survival and 3 insanity. So Letty gets her survival maxed and more insanity. There you go. And that's pretty much it. She gets Analyze. Okay. It is now our turns. We are starting adjacent. So I'll go ahead and reveal the top card. It is Lantern Hunger. And so I go ahead and put that back on top. And Kokuma gets back up, but Letty does not. I could get Letty back up, maybe. She can encourage, but do I want to? Let's look at the top 3 cards of the deck. 3, 9, 12. 3 is the Mask, which if you wound will cause it to stagger and get additional bonuses. 9 and 12. 9 is the Gauntlet. If we fail, he will attempt to intimidate. And then there is 12, which is Scrag, which we pretty much know about. This is a location that can be critted, but not really that important right now. Let's do we'll do it in this order. Butcher Mask first. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and have Kokuma surge or dash again because she needs to catch up. 1d10. She keeps her point. That's good. So we'll go ahead and move her up. Once again, she hits on 3s. And both missed. And now she's going to get knocked down. She's pretty much going to get knocked down. Alright. So that's a whole lot of nothing that just happened. So that's good. And I need to get rid of Lantern Hunger. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and use a survival point from Kokuma to shout Letty back onto her feet. Because we need all the help we can get. So I do keep the point. So Letty's going to be back up on our feet. She's not deaf, so she can still do stuff. Alright. The question is what can she do, if anything? Alright, well, let's go ahead and make 2 attacks. 2d10, I hit on 6s. 1 hit. That's going to be the Butcher's Mask, so 1d10 plus 3. That is a wound. That gets rid of, well, we already know it's Lantern Hunger. And that is pretty much all she can do. Yeah, there's not really much I can do here. So I'm going to go ahead and end the turn, and let's go ahead and go to the next turn. First card is Kick. Closest threat facing. And then closest threat, blah, blah, blah. So closest threat is Letty. Not much we can do about that. Letty does not have any defenses, so we'll go ahead and just go with what we got. Oh, I keep forgetting. Since Lily White died, Dreaded Trophies triggered. All attacks now cause bleed, no matter what. But I don't think anyone actually... No one's taken any hits so far, so we're okay at the moment. Alright, so 2d10. And it's all on Letty, hits on 4s. 1 miss, 1 hit. I will go ahead and dodge the other hit. So that'll take care of that. That'll pretty much end that card. Next card is Hugh. By the way, this is the card we're getting from Kick. We still have that second card from Berserker to still do. So here's Hugh. This is 1 attack. 1d10 hits on 3s. Misses. And then the final card is Wild Carve. Alright. Closest threat facing is Letty again. Not much we can do about that. 2 attacks, hits on 4s. 1 hit, and this is going to do 1 damage and cause 1 bleed. It already has bleed on it, so it doesn't add anything. 1 to the body, and she gets a bleed. Furthermore, she gets another, because of the Wild Carve effect, she gets 1 more damage to the waist, and another bleed. And Kokuma is going to get 1 wound to the body and 1 bleed. Okay, and now it's our turn. Holy cow, that's rough. So Kokuma is going to get back up. Surprisingly enough, we're doing okay. Now there's 2 cards left in the deck, in the AI deck, and one of those is gonna be Lantern Frenzy. So if we can get those rid of Lantern Frenzy, we'll be in a lot safer place. So we're gonna go ahead and check what the hit locations are. 3d15. So 6, 13, 14. Here's 14. Here's 13. And what was the last one? 6? 6. Furious Bellow. Okay. Not a big deal. Alright, Furious Vambrace is pretty dangerous, to say the least. But I'm going to go ahead and put that on top just in case. And yeah, we'll just do that. Alright, we'll do it in that order. Next, I'm going to go ahead and have Kokuma do our attacks. So 2d10 hits on 3s. 2 hits, so we get 14 and 6. Kokuma does not have 3 courage, so yeah, we're definitely going to go for the Vambraces first. So 1d10 plus 5. That's a critical hit, but there's no crits. Okay, remove the top card. Next we'll go for the Bellow. That's a fail. And that is, oops, I should have brought that back up. That's going to cause 1 brain damage and knock her down. So she's going to get knocked down, which is fine because she would have been knocked down anyway. With that, she does get a token. She does take 1 brain damage. Okay. And then, I don't know what card we got rid of. Oh wait, yes I do, because Letty's ability. It's Hack. So yeah, the next card's going to be Lantern Frenzy, unless we get rid of it somehow. So I'm going to go ahead and take 2 shots with Letty, and we'll just have to pray. 2d10, hits on 6s, no hits. Alright, so we know exactly what's going to hit us now. There's not much we can do about it. It's just going to be a random person. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, there's not really any. Oh, I can't move because I shot a bow. Okay, so next card, Lantern Frenzy. So this becomes a mood, which leaves him with a total of 4 cards left in his deck. Sorry about not keeping that up to date. So this comes back, this comes back, that comes back. Alright, here goes nothing, guys. 1d3, this will decide who the priority target is. 2, that is Letty. Letty is now the priority target. There's nothing she can do about it. Okay, so Lantern Frenzy has activated, and now we draw an additional AI card, and then we're going to draw another AI card, and it's just going to really hurt a lot. So top card, Wild Carve again. Not much I can do about that, unfortunately. Okay, 3 attacks this time. Hits on 4s. 2 hits. 2d6. That is head and body. So Letty's going to get knocked down, get a bleed token. Then she's going to take another wound to the legs and get another bleed token. She's going to die from blood loss at this rate. She is knocked down, but that doesn't matter because priority target will remain because of Lantern Frenzy. Next card, Gaze of Truth. It's going to be her, so we're going to go ahead and do 1d10. Sorry, I'll show the card again. Gaze of Truth, it's going to be an Intimidate. So 1d10. Okay, that hits. It's going to do 1 brain damage, which is going to give her another token. It's also going to give her +2 understanding and another disorder. 13. 13 is Monster Panic. Whenever you suffer brain damage from an intimidation, suffer 1 additional brain damage. Okay. You're probably not going to live long enough to do that, but that's fine. Okay. And then 1 more card. Which is going to be Hugh. 1 attack. Hits on 3s. If it hits, it's going to kill her because of blood loss. We're pretty close, but we might not be able to pull this off. Alright, 1d10. It missed. Okay, that's something we can work with. Kokuma, it's now our turn. I know that the last card that's in this deck right now is Kick. We definitely want to get rid of that. among other things. So let's go ahead and set this up. I'm going to go ahead and spend a survival point to get Letty back up on our feet because I need all the attacks we can get. So there you go, I get the point back. Thank God for that rawhide set. Alright, Rumia, go ahead and do your thing. 3d15. Okay, 4, 5, and 14. 4 is impervious. 5 is also impervious. And the last one is 14, which is a Vambrace. So once again, if I fail this, it'll counterattack and be pretty nasty. Not much we can do about this, unfortunately. But I can still at least try to get one wound in. So Fairy's Vambrace will be on top. Kokuma hits on 2s, or sorry, 3s. So 2d10. That's 2 hits. One of them's going to be the cleaver, so it's just going to give +1 insanity. Alright, Kokuma, +1 insanity. Next is the Fairy's Vambraces. 1d10 + 5. That is a wound that gets rid of kick, because we know about it. Alright, so that happened. Bad news is Letty's probably going to die. There's not much I can do about that. Letty, go ahead and take your 2 shots. 2d10, you hit on 6s. 1 hits, that's just going to hit the cleaver and give her +1 insanity. Oh, also for my turn, I'm just going to... In the case of Kokuma, I can actually move away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for Letty, for her action, she's got... Well, I'm actually going to go ahead and spend a survival point to... Nope, that won't help either. Man, that bow. I hate the fact that bows prevent you from moving. Pretty rough, to say the least. Alright. Also, I didn't give a token to her, so I'll go ahead and do that right now. Alright. 3 cards left in the deck. And Letty's probably going to get killed by one of them. There's not much we can do about it. Okay. Top card, Q. Oh, I did make a mistake. Q is supposed to have 2 attacks because of the +1 speed. So this would hit and kill her. So, yeah, it would have happened. So let's go ahead and rewind. We still get rid of kick. That's not a big deal, but Letty does die. This does trigger Dreaded Trophies again. This will give him a +1 movement and +1 speed token. Lantern Frenzy does get removed, though. So we'll do that. That and that. So that's going to actually force Lantern Frenzy to be put in the discard pile, so this is going to get shuffled in with it. Because I need to play this legit. This does bring him back to 4 wounds. Other than that, everything else is pretty standard. Okay. So yeah, with that +1 movement speed, there's not really too much we can do about it. Actually, with that knowledge, I would still attack, but I'll probably just move the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like that. And we'll see how it goes. Alright, so let's go ahead and draw the first card. It's Hue again, so that's normal. So our players, Hue, it's going to go for closest threat facing, and then closest threat, which is actually going to be Kokuma. So it's going to go turn this way and go and start moving towards her. I'm going to go ahead and spend a survival point, which does get spent, which is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's the first card. Next card, Gaze of Truth, which is going to make her go there. Gaze of Truth. It's going to do 1d10 and see what happens. Alright, this does hit. It's going to be a brain damage to Kokuma. Oop, wrong one. There we go. It's also going to give her plus 2 understanding, which is going to trigger Analyze. And this is going to knock her down. And she will gain plus a random disorder. So let's go ahead and get that random disorder going. 20. 20 is Squeamish. You can't depart with any stinky gear in your inventory. If a status or effect would cause you to become stinky, lose all your survival. So she is now Squeamish. It's looking pretty bad at this point. She is knocked down, and I can't shout her back up. So yeah, this does trigger the event. So I'll go ahead and roll the 1d10 for that. That is a 5. That's going to give her 3 survival and 3 insanity. So there's that, I guess. Anyway, at that point, so I'm going to go ahead and it is our turn. Kokuma can't get up. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to look at the... Well, it doesn't really matter about looking at the top 3 cards because it's going to get reshuffled. But yeah, Letty is dead. Get rid of all that. Actually, undo that last one because I keep those. Alright. Whew. So that is our turn. So now it's the Butcher's turn. It's going to be Wild Carve. Show to players. So 2 attacks, and this now Kokuma does have +1 evasion, and she has +2 from her gear, so that's going to be a total of 7 plus to hit. So 3d10 hits on 7s. 1 hit. I will go ahead and dodge it, so I don't take an additional bleed. I lose the point though. Okay, and now I'm going to take a automatic hit from the secondary effect to the body and take a bleed. There you go. So that's Wild Card. Next card is Lantern Frenzy again. So Lantern Frenzy is back into effect. Now he has +2 speed tokens. He also moves like he also has a movement of 8, so there's not really any way of getting away from him. The question is, though, is who's he going after? He's going after Kokuma. So Kokuma is now the primary target. And now the Butcher's going to go ahead and draw 1 more card. And we'll see what happens. Gaze of Truth. So good news is that's not going to cause any damage. Well, it's not going to cause much damage. So 1d10. Oh, it failed. So that's good. Because otherwise she would have frenzied. And, well, frenzy would actually be pretty good at this point. Alright, so knockdown goes off. Kokuma can get back on her feet. At this point, I'm going to definitely take advantage of Traumatize so I can get back up on my own turn. But let's go take a look at the top cards. 3d15. Alright, 7, 12, and 15. Thick Cape. Has a reflex, okay. Then 12 is the Scrag. That's not going to matter. And then 7, which is the Breastplate. Okay. We definitely don't want that. We'll definitely go for the other 2, though. Okay, with that, Knowledge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make 2 attacks. Hits on 3s. 2d10. Both hit. So I get Fiery Scrag and Thick Cape. I'm going to go after the Scrag first. Attacker rolls 1d10. If the result is greater than their courage, they suffer brain damage. Okay. No, actually I'm going to go for the Thick Cape first, because I want the buff. So 1d10 plus 5. That is a wound. We get rid of the top card. I'm moving that one because of the mood. Okay, the reflex is going to trigger 1d10. What's Kokuma's courage? If it's greater than their courage, wow. Kokuma has 1 courage, so she managed to resist the thick cape, so she doesn't frenzy. Alright, and then next is the Furious Greg. That's another wound. Alright. 1 card left, 1 mood as active. So, and funny enough, well, since I'm next to the monster, this actually knocks her down. And now it's going to do Gaze of Truth, because that's the only card it has left until we remove it. So this is actually pretty amazing. So Gaze of Truth, where is that at? Oops, it's down here. So this is the only card he has left in the deck. He's going to draw this card twice. So there's that we're going to have to deal with, but it's fine. So let's do a 1d10. Alright, that's going to cause a brain damage to Kokuma. So she's going to go down to 9 sanity. She's going to get +2 understanding. So she's at 5 understanding. This is also going to give her a random disorder. So let's go ahead and do that right now. 1d23. 21. 21 is traumatized. We already have that one, so let's reroll. 23 is weak spot. I have to, when I get this, you have an imaginary infirmity. So when you get weak spot, you roll 1d6, and Kokuma will not depart without a helmet, essentially. That's what it is. So, weak spot, head. Okay. Next, Frenzy triggers, because I got my 3rd tick on Infectious Lunacy, so this is going to be all removed, and I get Frenzy. What Frenzy does, for those who don't know, because I think this is our first time doing it, Brain Trauma. Frenzy, gain 1d5 Insanity, +1 Speed Token, +1 Strength. Ignore slow on melee weapons. You may not spend Survival. You may not use Fighting Arts. You may not use Weapon Specializations or Weapon Masteries. Can be gained multiple times, lasts until end of Showdown. So, with what we got right now, I can actually get Kokuma to essentially get infinite amounts of speed and attack power, which is pretty funny. Anyway, she gets 2 Insanity, a +1 Speed, and a +1 Strength. There you go. Now, that was the first Gaze of Truth. Here's the second. 9, that definitely hits. This is going to cause another brain damage, which is going to put that in Infectious Lunacy again. Kokuma now has a lot of understanding, and it's going to do 1 brain damage, and I get to roll a disorder. 16. Quixotic. You carry the weight of the settlement on your shoulders. Everyone is counting on you to save them, and you will rise to the challenge. If you are insane when you depart, gain 1 survival and +1 strength token. Okay? So we'll go ahead and replace Squeamish with Quixotic. Or Quixotic, I guess is how you pronounce it. Yep, okay. Alright, and that is it. That's all you can do until I remove that card or she somehow dies. Okay. So with that known, it's now her turn. She'll go ahead and get back up. Thankfully, Traumatized ensures she gets knocked down on her turn. Alright, so the only key thing we need to do now is make sure there's no trap card. So 3d15. There is a trap card. So I'm actually going to go ahead and attack from the front for this one. And nothing else I really need to point out there. So I'm going to go ahead and do, well, the only thing I can really do right now is do 3d10 and see if I hit with every attack. I hit on 4s. I don't, I only hit with 1. So either I have to pick 5 or 13 for the top card. So top card will be 13, because that's the only thing I can hurt. Actually, basic action force, I would be hit on 7s. No. Actually, I will go for the cleaver and get 1 insanity. The reason I'm doing this is so I can ensure I need to get multiple hits in. That's the key thing for this fight. But let me be right back. Oh my god, that was super annoying. Sorry guys for the cut. My internet decided to just stop on me entirely. It never came back up until I woke up the next morning, and then I had to do work. And then my recording software decided to stop working, so I had to deal with reinstalling and uninstalling and reinstalling multiple ways until I finally got it working again. So it looks like I'm recording and it's not freaking crashing my desktop anymore, so yeah. So yeah, if it sounds like I'm either more refreshed or slightly more annoyed, that's the reason. So now I did look up some rules during my unintended break. Anytime you draw a disorder and it's the same disorder, it just means you just don't get a new disorder. What I do recall that I got traumatized the second time, and I just drew another card instead. I wasn't supposed to do that. So just the remedy to that. Right now, we're still doing the Gaze of Truth and resolving the first one. I haven't drawn a disorder for that yet, so I'm just going to say that the disorder that I now have from the previous one is this one. So I'm not going to draw one for this one, and that should balance everything out. But more importantly, we got some events to handle, because holy cow. There we go. So we were able to zoom in, get to see the white speaker. That is the white speaker right there. And yeah, this is going to do some strange things. A dream buried deep in memory suddenly surfaces. You feel your hot breath bathing your ear, hissing whispers. She had come to you bearing the secrets of the world, and you had merely forgotten until now. Your brain swells and you scream out in pain. Suffer the lunacy brain trauma and remember the story. Alright, so first let's do the lunacy brain trauma. Gaining random disorder and 1d5 insanity. Alright, so now we're going to get another disorder. Roll 1d5. Alright, so Kokuma does get another point of insanity, and now she's going to get a random disorder. Let me shift this over. There we go. 1d23. So this is 14. I'm going to be periodic age, making sure I'm recording, because I'm a little nervous after all the technical difficulties I've been having. 14 is post-traumatic stress. Next settlement phase, you do not contribute or participate in any endeavors. Skip the next cut to recover. Is this a one-time thing? The last hunt was harrowing. All you can do is cower and relive the trauma. Only time can heal your wounds. Alright, post-traumatic stress. So I'll go ahead and add that. I have to replace one of these. I'm going to replace weak spot head with post-traumatic stress. Still, to continue with the rest of the battle. And this won't be an issue if we can get rid of it before the end of this battle, that'll be fantastic. Alright, next we have to do Remember the Story, which means we need to roll a 1d10. We can't do any of these extra things because those are principles that we're nowhere near getting yet. 5. Story of the Survivor. You remember the story of a smart young girl that, despite all odds, constantly outwitted the superior beings that she encountered. You also recall that her own vanity led to her death. Gained the quixotic, I guess that's how you pronounce it. I always say quixotic, but I believe that's quixotic. Disorder and the following ability. Peerless. When you gain insanity, you may gain an equal amount of survival. So, Kokuma is now peerless. There you go. We already have quixotic, so we don't get it again. And now that is pretty much it. Now, the survival is not really that useful right now because we are crazy nuts right now. In fact, that is something I need to fix. Oopsies. It didn't save my tokens. I think I have like 2 or 3 blood tokens. I can just check real quick if it becomes an issue. Right now, it's not an issue because he can't physically attack me. But yeah, she has maxed out understanding. So good for her. It does have some obviously negative traits to it. It does force you to get a disorder, but a lot of times it's rather good. So I'm very glad that Kokuma was able to get this at the very least. And hopefully she can stop being broken in a second. Alright, so next is that was just the first card again. The second card is once again Gaze of Truth. So we're going to go ahead and roll 1d10. It hits, so it's going to do all sorts of fun stuff. This is going to cause Infectious Lunacy to trigger a second time. So let's go ahead and go 1d5 Insanity, so that's 4 Insanity. Kokuma can gain that much in Survival as well, so I'll just max out her Survival. And she is now up to 15 Insanity. This is also going to give her +1 Strength and +1 Speed. So this is getting a little dangerous, I'm going to have to say, because I don't want to risk hitting it. If technically I can let this continue infinitely, but doing that would be pretty bad. In any case, we do get a we do take 1 damage. We do take 1 brain damage as well. So let's note that as well. Not that it matters. We gain more insanity than we lose right now. The +2 understanding is wasted because we can't get any more understanding. And 1d23 is 11. Immortal. You are immortal. You will live forever and cannot be killed. While you are insane, convert all damage dealt to your hit locations to brain damage. You are so busy reveling in your own glory that you cannot spend survival while insane. So yeah, insanity tank. If this is good. So insanity, or not insanity, immortal. We will keep that one. All right. With that said and done, it is now our turn. Kokuma did fall over because of Traumatize, and now she's going to get back up. Apparently I forgot to mark that. Let's go ahead and see what we can get with our... give me 1 moment. I need to open a thingy. Sorry about that. I was not expecting to have such a interruption that spans 13 hours. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the 3D15. Or sorry, 3D15, or was it? Yep, 3D15. Oh, thank you for that trap card. Thank you, game. That's exactly what I wanted. Alright, so 3, 4, and 1. All of which I can't kill him. I need to be able to kill him before any of this shit happens. So yeah, that's a problem. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just put the trap card on top, because it doesn't honestly matter. I would like to trigger the trap card, but honestly it's not going to do any good for any of us. So really, I'm just going to pass the turn again. I have to get something that's not the trap card on top. I have to do 2 wounds. If I don't do 2 wounds, no amount of immortality is going to save me from bleed damage. So I'm going to go ahead and pass turn and just endure. That's really all I can do. Freaking A, people are calling me all of a sudden. Alright. It's like one thing after another here. Alright, so once again, it's Gaze of Truth. It's always going to be Gaze of Truth. I'm not going to worry about it. 1d10. That hits. So we're going to go ahead and just do the 1d23. 23. 23 is Weak Spot again. So once again, I will just get this, I guess. So this will go Weak Spot. That is Waste. Okay. There you go. You take 1 brain damage, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so all that said and done. Get a token back. We'll just put that there. Alright, and then the next one hits. Take another brain damage. We're going to get ourselves another 1d23, which is 22, which is Vestophobia, which is practically the same thing as weak. It's the opposite of weak spot, but for the chest. So here we go, Vestophobia. Actually, this causes one problem. You cannot, if you are wearing armor at this bodily location, when you gain this disorder, archive it and tear it off your person. So we actually lose our chest armor, which is actually super bad. I mean, it's not bad for this fight, but it's super annoying, because now we don't have a full set of rawhide to mess around with. Oh my god, this is so annoying. Okay. So yeah, that was the first one. That was the second. Okay. So yeah, Vestophobia. Alright. Again, 3D15. What are the top cards? Okay, that's something we can work with. That is something we can work with, guys. So 4 is a cleaver, which is impervious. Not a big deal. Also, we need to put a second token on this. Okay. Kokum's going to get back up. Sorry this is taking so long, but sheesh. One thing after another. The Greaves, which is full move towards the attacker. Don't move if you're already adjacent. Okay, that's not a big deal. And then 14 is the Vambraces. Okay. We definitely don't want to fail any of these. Alright, we'll go Furious Greaves, Vambraces, then Cleaver. Alright, and now it is our turn. So this thing does I would hit on 4s if I attacked from the front. I do have +2 speed because of all the other bullshit. So this is going to get pretty crazy. I'm going to go ahead and just attack from the front because I don't want to hit too many times. So 40-10, I hit on 4s. That's 3 hits. That is all those hit locations. I have +2 strength from both my frenzies, and I get only 1 strength from the Monster Tooth Necklace now, so that's 3. And the Scrap Sword has 5, so that's 8. So as long as I don't roll a 1, I will wound no matter what. The Cleaver is going to give me +1 Insanity, so we'll go ahead and increase that by 1. And we'll do Furious Greaves first. 1d10 + 9. Okay, that is a wound. That gets rid of the Gaze of Truth. And then the other is another wound. And that is game. We finally killed him. Because he had Lantern Frenzy active, but that means it's not in his deck. So the first hit, and then the second hit kills him. Okay. We won. We did it. That was the end of the battle. Kokum, we can go ahead and clear out these tokens, reset tokens. Kokuma is Quixotic, Quixotic, immortal, and has Vestophobia. The Vestophobia is not too bad, especially with that much insanity, because the immortality will kind of fix everything. But wow. And Peerless also helps a lot. Holy cow, this is pretty bonkers. So Kokuma does get +1 experience and +1 sword proficiency. Rumia didn't attack, but she does get +1 experience. Honestly, Rumia helps out tons. She allowed us to kind of just see what's going on ahead of time. I could have had her attack with the club, but that's really too risky, in my opinion. It would have been... I would have to roll a 6 or higher, so it would have been 50-50 chance to actually wound, assuming it's not a tougher location. But yeah, Kokuma really pulled through here. It's just unfortunate that we lost the Rawhide Vest, because that's going to hurt us in the long run. Okay, so with all that said and done, let's... There's no specific resources for the Butcher. All we can do is do what is said under the victory condition. So, Showdown, Butcher, make sure I'm still recording. Still recording. Alright, there's the Butcher. Rewards, roll 1d10 and add the Butcher's level to the result. So he's level 1, so 1d10 + 1. And then the group will gain any listed resources and gear. Okay, so we'll roll a 1d10 + 1. 9. Butcher's Cleaver, rare resource, rare gear, and 1 Broken Lantern resource. Okay, so good stuff. We got ourselves a Broken Lantern out of that. and some other good shit. So let's get the I'll go ahead and show the Butcher's Cleaver. We got one of them. It is paired, so if you can get another one, you can pair them. 2 speed, 5 accuracy, 5 strength. Sentient, must be insane to activate, and if you die while having this equipped, you archive the card. So it's a little bit easier to lose in comparison to other weapons, but it's pretty good. It's also an axe, and I've been meaning to get an axe for a while now. Okay, so all we have to do is find some insane people to hook up that to. Good stuff. Alright, also I do need to get one of those resources. So let's get ourselves a broken lantern. That's essentially all the loot we have, because that's really all we can get. If I had held on to some of my stuff, I could have taken advantage of that, but not really that big of an issue anymore. Cleaver. There we go. So, once again, we're still in that situation where we have, like, no armor. We have no armor whatsoever. And it's really kind of just a big mess. Infectious Lunacy is off. Surprisingly enough, we didn't run into very many insanity cards. Oh, we did get a monster bone. I forgot, we got that monster bone. That is... Okay, cool. We can get ourselves like a monster tooth necklace with that or something. I don't know. Sheesh. We can get a scrap dagger for all I care. So we can do something with that. Not much, but we can do something with it. Okay, anyway, with that said and done, let's put away the dead. There we go. And there we go. Alright. Well, that is pretty much it. So I'm going to go ahead and call this a video. Yeah, we lost 2 people, but Kokuma became pretty ridiculous. And we actually beat the Butcher, so that is a pretty good success. Unfortunately, going to be down 2 more people, but we have plenty of unnamed characters I still need to name. So I am the Depressed Eeyore, and when we come back, we will start Year 5. See you guys next time.